Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to do a quick check-in on my Indian blue worms because we haven't peeked at those since I did the big casting harvest, which was about a month ago, I guess. There's a little tag in here because there is a hosta plant still in here. I can remind you that this is one that fell off my deck and was completely dead in horrible shape, and I stuck it in here, and look at the new white roots. The worms and the worm castings have done wonderful things for this, so it can get planted outside now. I mean, they die down to the ground every year anyway, so I'm not worried about the leaves. It was the roots that were dead, or they look dead. But the power of castings. No, I don't have the flash on. I'm just sitting in an area. Let me move. I'm sitting on my kitchen floor here, dining room floor, and the sun is coming in the window. So I'm focusing on this corner because I know that's where I buried a piece of pumpkin maybe about a week ago, and there's nothing else in here for food. No, PD. So, or there shouldn't be. I'm just gonna pick this up, and we see worms. So, I guess I don't understand why they're called Indian blue worms. The Indian part perhaps comes from the origin, but they've never been blue. I mean, I guess at a certain angle they take on a bit of a hue, like a little bit of almost like a holographic effect, but I don't know. So I just want to take a close-up here and see. As I always point out, you won't see mites. You may see an occasional springtail, but the worms, other than that, are just really, really healthy worms. And they're truly enjoying their fall season feast. Let's see what I'm sure there are plenty more under there working their way up into it. And as always, I see that there's an adult, and it does look bluer. Actually, more looks purplish to me, but my eyes aren't great. But as always, there's a range of sizes. There's always a ton of young worms. And I found with the Indian blues that the younger the worms are, the lighter pink they are. They almost look like fluorescent pink red wigglers when they're very young. Let's see. So you can see the different sizes, different ages in here. And this little runt over here on the side of my hand. Oh, got another ball here. There's the ball that I had picked up. Now here's another. Again, they're on a piece of pumpkin, and look at the population of young worms. This is mostly young worms right here. Guys, I'm gonna break up your ball. Sorry, I know you were having a ball. I'm just very interested and fascinated. I'm just letting you all look. Y'all, no, I'm not Southern. Not sure why I said it that way, y'all. There's an adult with a nice band. So that one is breeding ready. But most of these are very young worms. And when they use the word worm ball, I mean, it really is like a ball. Trying to let them dissipate a little bit just to see the varying sizes. Although these aren't the most adventurous of worms, so I don't know if they're going to let themselves drop off my hand. If these were Euros or even Wigglers, they'd be plummeting to their death to get away. But these guys are much more docile. Actually, as far as worm keeping goes, I guess red wigglers are recommended as a beginner worm because they're so easily obtained and readily available. But I find in my own personal experience that these Indian blue worms are a much more easily adaptable, easily maintainable, versatile worm. I guess you got a little blue there. Yeah, I guess I can see it. You can see like little black tips. They're much less fussy. They definitely breed much more robustly. Is that the word? Their reproduction rate is a lot higher than that of the red wiggler. I mean, both do really, really good. Look at this. It's truly a ball. Both do really, really good. But in my experience, these blues breed much more aggressively than wigglers, and they're a lot more tolerant of their conditions. And I've yet to have one try to get out. I've never found I'm trying to break them open just so you can see the different sizes. I've never found an Indian blue on the floor. Petey, no, don't crunch that. I do see a cocoon right in the center, but it just got covered by a worm. My dogs are in here, and they're not getting attention right now, so they may start acting up because they're being ignored. You see the little cocoon right in the center? There, now it's getting pushed up. That's a new one. Yellow. Okay, it's enough staring at that ball. I will put their piece of pumpkin back. And I'm going to suspect that I don't even know why this looks like a piece of paper towel. Sometimes when I have vegetable scraps to freeze, if I have a paper towel out on the counter, I'll just wrap them in that and throw them in the freezer to freeze them. Then when I take it out, I'll toss it in the worm bin in the paper towel, but they don't usually eat the paper towels. Now, this is a banana peel, or was it a whole banana? Looks like it may, well, no. They were, okay, so it looks like it was a banana peel that I had wrapped in a paper towel, and now the banana peel just fell down. So what I have left here is the paper towel. Let's see. How many worms can fit inside the end of a banana peel? The answer is a lot. Hey, I'll be down this end if you want me. Little ones on the back. Let's see. Yeah, I find that the worms they're not interested in the paper towel. Of course, they'll go on it to get to what's in it, but paper towels and coffee filters, I don't bother putting them in here as bedding because it takes so long for them to eat them versus actual bedding. Now here was a yellow tomato from my garden. You can see the seeds. And even though it's soft and mushy, this was not pre-frozen. And so far, they're not finding it interesting. Probably because there's banana peel and pumpkin. No, I just want to take a little bit more look around here. This corner here, what that is, I had a bunch of basil plants that had gone to seed. And I said, well, I'm going to break off the seed heads and stick them in here and see if new basil plants start to grow. And it hasn't been but a few days. If nothing else, I know the worms will love to dig into this when I bury it fully. I just wanted to give them a chance to break off the seed heads, which it looks like they did. So I'm going to bury this clump now, these basil stems. Wow, if you could smell how strong it is. This is Thai hairy lemon basil. That's the name of it. It smells very much like lemon verbena, so it's got a really strong smell, but not so strong that the worms are avoiding it, because I just seen a couple guys hide into it. Now I wonder if there's any that were going underneath of it. And there's some, not very many. I don't blame them. Banana, pumpkin, tomato, or some lemon-scented basil. Not a really tough choice to figure out there. So I'll bury that. I'll just take a look around just a little bit. Now there's a lot more cardboard in here than I usually put in my bins. And was a mistake on my part. When I say cardboard, I mean shredded cardboard. I usually put a big piece of cardboard in, but I don't add much shredded cardboard. Looks like there's another banana peel over here. And of course, there's going to be worms on it. Yeah, it's a little bit dry. Not horrible. The areas around the tomato and pumpkin, of course, are quite, well, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, I could squeeze it and it stays together. I didn't have any plastic wrap on this, so it did dry out more so than the other bins that have plastic on them do. I should say bubble wrap. I just keep sheets of bubble wrap on top of my bins. So yeah, I could see more cocoons, lots of youngins. The worms are dispersed throughout the bed, but of course most heavily populated in the area where the food is, which makes sense. The bin is not very full right now because this is the one I recently harvested after having these worms starting with, I keep forgetting the number, but I think it was around 50 worms, and after 4 months this was full. Well, you can see the line up. It was full up to here with castings, and that was starting with 50 worms. I was shocked. So of course it's kind of starting over. I just added bedding, and I'm slowly adding food now and building the castings back up. But I wanted to check on them because I haven't done that since I did do the big casting harvest. And actually I'm going to show you some of the castings that I took out because they're sitting here on my table. So these are some of the castings that I took out of the Indian blue bin. And you're going to see right down here, we had a really hard, well, it was supposed to be a frost. It ended up being a freeze because my dog's water bowl froze outside, their outside water bowl. So I yanked my lemon verbena plants out of the outside bucket. I didn't dig them out gently, I just yanked them and buried them in the castings that had been sitting here on this tray. I was planning to go through this to get out the cocoons, but I just wanted to show you the castings. This has been about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now, I guess, since I harvested them. Oh, that lemon verbena smells heaven. And I just haven't had a chance to use them yet. I'm going to use a lot of it when I plant my garlic in another couple of weeks, but just look how moist. If I make a ball, I mean, these castings are just so beautiful. And if you want to keep a plant alive, or if you, I mean, the leaves aren't looking great. It was about 4 in the morning and it was starting to freeze, and I ran out and just brutally yanked them out of the pot. And I said, well, the best chance they have of surviving, there's a cocoon in there, or there's 2 cocoons there. The best chance they have of surviving so that I can overwinter them in pots inside is just to stick them in castings for right now and give them a really strong nutrient boost, since I didn't take them out gently or dig them out. I yanked them out, poor guys. But normally with the lemon verbena, because it is takes so long to grow and it's so difficult to get, when I get the annual plants, I put them in pots and overwinter them here. So yeah, so they're just living. They're living right now in these castings, which are just, they're really awesome. And you know, I hadn't gone through and collected the cocoons yet, and as you can see, maybe not, there are still plenty of cocoons in here. They were very lemon yellow when I first harvested it, and now it looks like they're dark brown and ready to be hatched. So normally what I do, and this is just my method, is I will get the castings, put them in something like this, but with a little bit higher sides, so I don't make a mess everywhere. And I go through with tweezers and pluck out as many cocoons as I can see. It takes about an hour. And I do that because I don't have 100 worm bins. I have 8. And I want a lot of castings, and I want to be able to use them when I first harvest them. And if I have to wait, 2 or 3 months for the cocoons to hatch, and then, set up food trap and then catch the babies, that's just too long for me. I don't have the time, I don't have the space, and I don't mind putting the upfront effort into collecting the cocoons. I didn't do that with this bin or this collection for a variety of reasons, but I'm still planning to. All right, well, that's it, folks. As always, please leave a thumbs up if you can, and leave any questions or comments below. And I'll be doing another video soon, because I'm about to check in on my African night crawlers that are doing exceptionally well. Okay, see you soon.